Okay, I want to make a video really quick about what I've come across this morning. Now, many of you may not be familiar with the Economist Magazine, and for whatever reason, my spirit wanted me to just get up and start looking at some of the Chinese flags that have been placed on the cover of the Economist Magazine. Now, for those of you who don't know about the Economist Magazine, it is a Rothschilds magazine that they basically state what their intentions are for the world in the future. And I just happened to come across this one very old article. This is from 2015 about the basically what their intentions are for the entire structure of our world. And a lot of this symbolism that most people are not familiar with needs to be brought to the forefront of the population's conscience so that they can start to see all of the signs of what these people are saying to each other as they, put out these magazines. Their business partners and friends and whatever, their ilk, you should call them, they are actually reading this and keeping up to date with the process, the programs, and how well they're moving forward with their intentions. So as we look at this one cover, we're going to look down at some things, but first I'm going to just go over what you can see just in this forefront here. As you can see, we have a world divided up in the top right corner of this 2015 cover. And they have the Amazon delivering the packages. This is 2015 now, remember this, because they really only started rolling this out a couple of years later, where they were actually intending to do this kind of stuff. They are also threatening bombs, which are not necessarily nuclear. They want to scare people when they say nuclear weapons. They're mostly just atomic bombs. There was one person that I came across that said that they cannot use nuclear weapons anymore, and I doubt that they can even use atomic weapons because of the other beings that are around. They've already shown their might and will over the power of our military, where they can actually shut these missile silos down. They can turn them on and they can turn them off, and they've flexed their muscles quite a number of times now. If you look into the UFO community and all this high strangeness that's been perpetuated in the past with, these other principalities of power that actually monitor our progress into our spiritual consciousness, and they're waiting for us to become more spiritually awake and to stop fighting each other for them to present themselves to the world. But in saying that, the government basically put out all of that War of the Worlds stuff back in the 1940s or 20s. I can't remember when they had the radio broadcast about War of the Worlds before they ever had television, but they were actually testing the minds of the masses to see, what would transpire if there was some sort of thing called aliens, that suddenly showed themselves to us, which was all just bogus in one level because aliens are not a thing. They're actually highly advanced humans on another spiritual level than we are. Most of them, I would say, but there are interdimensionals that we call aliens. They're some of them are demonic. They have many different personalities, just like we do. So we can't just label them all evil. And we needed to think about these things. If you look into other areas of and aspects of our world, you will find all of these interesting things that actually start to link up all of the other events and processes of our world, and how we are just manipulated as little pawns. Even these global, what we call elite people, they are manipulated. They are puppets, and they are underneath the ones who are actually literally controlling this plane of existence. But let's continue on with this magazine cover. So we have, all of this activity in the background. And as you can see, a lot of this stuff, we have political leaders, We have people that are important to them. Is that Ghislaine Maxwell? Kind of looks like it. But anyway, yeah, this, what are we seeing in the background here? This guy looks like he's wearing a mask. And this guy back here is Mossad or something, they've always got to put up their hand symbols for Freemasonry. We have rockets shooting into the sky. I don't know all these political leaders. Like, I think this is one of the African guys. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But see, he's doing the Heil Hitler. That's not just a hand wave. He's Heil Hitler. And, at the forefront, they have, who, Obama sitting there doing the same thing, representing the red, white, and blue. And, of course, we have Putin over here looking like an operative, like CIA operative or MI6 or whatever they have in Russia. I'm not even sure what they call it. They have Hillary over here in the background. And is this Merkel? I can't remember. I think it is. But she's got the Illuminati symbol going on here, pyramid, pyramid of power. The pyramid has many different symbols relating to it. But for theirs, it's control, that they are on the top and we are at the bottom. So over here we have, it looks like a movie reel or something, but perhaps it's supposed to be one of the older flying machines that they had. That was like a helicopter. I don't know if you've ever seen the beginning stages of what they call flying machines. We've had flying machines for a very long time, and much longer than what they want us to know. But they're putting out this, sort of symbolism of old antiquitech stuff, I guess. Here is a Pied Piper. And we all know what that's about. He's going to lead the little rats out of the city, or, basically march them to their own demise, I guess. And we have Napoleon in the background. Another hand. Lots of Chinese symbolism. So what they're going to do is, they actually had mentioned like years ago that China was to be the next superpower. And, this is all led by their regime, of course, as they want to be in control, and they've been building up China. And that's why all of our goods have been bought and purchased from China. Like we got rid of manufacturing, and they put it all on China and Chinese products so that we could build up their economy. And now, we're in this crisis state of what's going on in the world. And I believe that the good factions are battling the bad factions in all levels of wherever they find themselves. If they're in the elite area of our world, then, the good and bad are fighting each other. Just as we see down on our citizen level. I don't really like using that term because that's a legal term, which is based on admiralty law. But just for the comprehension of this video, I'll use the term citizen. And yeah, they want the peoples of the world, the lower peoples, like you and I, to fight. And that's exactly what we find ourselves doing because of this whole CV pandemic thing. But moving on, I hope that you guys can, start to do research on a lot of this stuff yourself. Okay, we have Spider-Man over here on the right. And as we know, they've been putting out and perpetuating a lot of superhero movies that are basically telling us that, there's these human hybrids and all of these different abilities that are superhuman, that they know of, that we do not know of. Now, the one secret that they will not reveal to you and I, unless you start digging about the Monroe Institute and other things, is that we have innate abilities that lie dormant because of our state of awareness and our state of consciousness. We do not try to do introspection to try to figure out who we are and how this machine that we call a body works. We are merely having an experience as a energetic soul, and the body is just a machine. It is an opportunity for growth spiritually and physically throughout this realm. It is an avatar suit. It's an avatar suit, and it allows us to traverse this experience. That is all. But yet they have woven this conceptual idea that this is the only existence there is, that there is no other thing higher than ourselves, no opportunities. You must give away your power to the church because you are a sinner and there is a higher God outside of you, but you are not it. And that is a falsehood that is now being played out into the world, that we are actually able to create in this realm. We are co-creators of this reality, and we need to wake up to that fact. Your thoughts are creating things, and what does that make you? Well, to all the, I wouldn't call them lesser beings, but the other beings that do not have our capabilities, you are a god, basically. We were given dominion over this realm. This is the land, air, and water. That is the law of the earth plane. And mankind, or humans, which, you know, that's a whole nother level. Like, we are actually men and womb men. The womb men have stargates, and the stargate allows for other souls to come in. That's why women have wombs, and we are called womb men. But yeah, you got to put all this stuff together, people, and I'm just here to try to help assist in whatever process I can to help people see some things. And I hope that you can see some of the symbolism that we have before us now, because I found it very highly important, especially this one. Here we have the Alice in Wonderland, and the symbolism for what are we in? We're in a Wonderland world. We're in this whole series where people are chasing the white rabbit, down the rabbit holes and all of this. And I'm going to save the best for last on this one. But, this idea of superhuman powers, we have them innately if we just go within and we learn all of the things that these occultists know, which is Hermetics and Kabbalah, all of this mysticism that's out in the world. They wanted to scare people and frighten them away from it. But I guarantee you, once you start looking at some of this stuff, it will not scare you anymore, because mysteries are no longer mysteries once they become knowledge. And, I used to be afraid of all of this stuff. I used to be afraid of looking into Aleister Crowley, because everybody was like, oh, he's a demon worshiper and all this, he's Satan, all of these stigmas that they put on him, all these labels. But you know what it was? He was not afraid to look into knowledge. Are you afraid of knowledge? That's what that is. That's all it is. And when I looked into his books, which I have several of now, and Blavatsky, I have Blavatsky's books, I looked at this stuff and I said, you know what? This is just knowledge. And it's just people speaking about their experience. And there wasn't any that I could see in the books that I have. I never saw any devil worship. I never saw any, summoning magic. I didn't see anything of some sort of horrible nature that would actually, be considered evil. All it is sacred knowledge. And these people were trying to speak about it to the world. And in the Kabbalistic practice, Jewish mysticism and all this, that's all they've done, is they've been hiding the truth from us. And when you go to these places, you find out that a lot of them come, they're stemming out of India, a lot of these teachings, and it ties in very well with a lot of things. It's sort of the missing links, if you would, to our world, and the notion of how to absolutely operate our physical existence and into the non-physical, which most people are afraid of. They want to label this something because they think that it's evil in its essence, and it is not. Knowledge is not innately evil. It is what you do with the knowledge, and that is what these people have been doing, and that's what considers them black magicians. They are dark magician practitioners, and we need to be aware of it, that we live in a Harry Potter reality where our thoughts create our existence and our world and our experiences, and that we can absolutely change them by our will alone. So the secrets to this world that we now dwell within are: your thoughts are your imagination, and your imagination in this world is key to creating your reality. What do you envision yourself as? What do you envision yourself as doing? Once you couple this vision with emotion, it begins to magnetically create the world around you. And I can prove this time and time again to myself, and I've proven it to others. I've taught people how to manifest what it is that they wish. And it is very, very simple, especially when you need help in your life. Your higher self is always watching, and that's on the higher planes of existence. If you go into what some of these ancients say about our world and the cosmology therein, you start to get it, that this little small aspect of us that's having this little physical, what we call physical experience, is actually a hologram, just like everything else. It then is tied to a higher part of you. And even in hypnosis, they teach this. But those cosmologies, which I plan to do another video in the future on these cosmologies of which I speak, because it's a fascinating journey. And once you start the journey, it's like stepping stones. So you'll find one thing that leads to another and leads to another. And I believe to be open, completely open, and remain open like a child in wonder of this world and this existence and all that it has to offer. I believe that is the best state of mind to remain within, because any other belief system or process that you place yourself in will end up hurting you at some point or causing you fear or doubt or pain. And when you do this, when you stop anything, when you say, no, I don't believe that, you are actually stopping an energetic flow within your physical form. And this is what's also causing a lot of health problems in the world. Not only the food, because the cellular structure is not getting the proper nutritional values of minerals and vitamins into the physical body so that it can operate at its maximum potential. You are actually speaking to the water that your cells contain, and that water is holding and projecting that memory. So the more negative you are, the more sick you become, potentially, from storing all that negative energy in your cellular structure. These things can also be found in a lot of the science that is out there today. Moving on. I know that I always get off on tangents, but there's a lot to say in a short time to say it. So I try to go down all these little trails and try to come back to center on what I'm trying to get at. Now, some of these images, I don't know what this little sumo guy is with it's a battery that he's holding. It's kind of a positive and a negative polarity, but a red and white battery. What is that? I don't know, but if you reversed it, this would be the Red Cross, which is, I believe, a Rosicrucian symbol. And why a sumo? I don't know. That's Japan. Japan holds a battery. I don't know why. Maybe this has something to do with the nuclear power plant, that's still draining into the ocean. I don't think they ever stopped that. So let's look at, so they have this panda here, and the panda, as we know, it's wearing the Chinese flag and it's buff, it's beefy, it's muscular, it's massive, because that's the superpower. They want China to be the next superpower that runs the world. And they have made this their intentions in various ways, but they actually mentioned it in an article in one of their online sites. I can't remember. I came across it years ago, and I was trying to find that for a reference of this video, but I didn't find it right away. So I just kept moving. I don't want to spend too much time digging, but you guys can go and dig some more and look up, the Economist or, the Rothschilds talking about how they wanted China to be the next superpower. So, and as you see, there's a little Chinese kid eating noodles. There's this game. It looks like the game Plinko or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know if that's what that is. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see some of this stuff, especially since I'm zooming in, trying to figure it out. It starts to get kind of grainy. They know what this means, and your subconscious will know what this means. And that's the trickery that they want to perpetuate, is they're always going to put this symbolism in your face. Well, here we have a boy. He's got a whirligig hat on and looks like, one of those little glider plane things. And he's looking at this, like in amazement. I don't know what this guy represents. Most of the time I can get this symbolism, but I don't know what that is exactly. And then you have a drum set over here, and it's British, I don't know what band. 50th. Okay. Well, apparently, this is a tribute to one of the bands, perhaps the Beatles or something, all of these people were part of the agenda. The Beatles and all of the American bands and stuff, they were all paid associates to deliver messages, so to speak. And they did very well, with their mind control, that whether they were aware of or not, I don't know. Okay, so we have another piece of the earth here, and it shows Africa and Russia, China, like Asia and stuff. It's a football shape. So, what's its meaning? I'm not quite sure about that one. I'll be honest. I'm very honest about this stuff. Now, here we have, I don't even know what this thing is. It looks like a troll or something. It has a little thing over its head. What is this? I don't know what that is. It could be something in China or some cartoon thing, that I'm not aware of, like anime. It looks like a cat, but I'm not real positive on that note. It also looks like it's wearing something from India or possibly, India has been holding back the giant pretty much. Then we have this ghost, looks like Boo Berry ghost on the cereal box. I can't tell what he's holding. He's hiding out, more symbolism. But I wanted to save some of these better ones for last. Okay, so we have the rocket here, and it says Castrol on it. Apparently that's for the oil industry. I'm not real sure, again, what the symbolism is, but that it means something to someone. And then we have a turtle that's, I don't know if he's surprised or if he's just activated. They've got the little lines as if it's got exclamations or something, like it's active. So maybe it just means slow burn. I don't know, but the most important thing that I found, and I skipped over the woman over here, that's got something to do with the French, I guess. I don't know. There's stuff back here in the background too. A lot of this stuff I just can't make out. That's almost looks like portalets or something, but it also looks like some sort of containment, like containers of some sort. Anyway, I left the best for last because this is very important. So they have two arrows striking the ground, and these arrows have 11.5 and 11.3. What does this add up to be in numerology? 22 in the third quarter, which you would add up all of these numbers. 5 plus 3 is 8. That usually means, the third quarter. And then because, 12 months out of the year, it's going to be the 8th month, y'all. That would be next month, which is August. Today's date is July I want to say the 20, no, it's the 18th. Sorry. I'm falling behind on my dates because I've been out of commission, just doing other things away from my computer, not even looking at the clock and the phone and stuff. I don't want to look at that stuff. I'd have to take a break for a while because I find myself getting sort of stuck in the quagmire if I spend too much time online. That's why you guys don't see me very often. Anyway, add these numbers: 22 in the third quarter. That's August, guys. We are just around the corner. Am I a prophet? No. And I'm not a fear monger. I don't fear this stuff. Are we going into a new monetary system? Absolutely. Absolutely, we are going. And when? This could be a potential right here, just because of these numbers and their great reset that they're looking forward to. I was a little discouraged when I looked up how many countries require a NCV pass now. So, you know, you have to have this passport in order to get in all these other countries, and you can look up the list. Because it's all I want to do now is untether, just go on a grand adventure without any financial things hanging over my head. They say, these people and others who have made their wealth enormous say that in order to truly gain wealth, you don't own anything. So they put things in trusts and put it under corporations, and they do it all this stuff so they can write it off all the time. We're the ones who were never taught anything about, you know, that world and how to actually rise above and be on top, you know, and we just struggle all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't figured it out. And at this point, I really don't care, because I don't like their game. And that's the bottom line. I can't say that, you know, I don't enjoy the things that money brings, but I don't enjoy the slave system that we've been put under, this regime. I don't like it at all. And so I negate it. Although, you know, somehow I'm a magical manifester, again, going back to spirit, I'm a magical manifester and can manifest all kinds of things when I need them. So, yeah, they got all this stuff, all this symbolism. You know, this woman actually, with her little red dot way up here, kind of reminds you of India in a way, even though this is supposed to be Renaissance. Renaissance has been a lie to all this stuff that they say. Bocce ball, they're going to play ball, y'all. Yeah. This article is from 2015. They're trying to say that, and this is on the WashingtonStandard.com. The Economist Magazine cover foreshadows a false flag event that will happen in November, ? No, actually, I believe that we are coming upon their false flag event, or the one that they perpetuate and create. And have they warned us of November 3rd and November 5th, particularly important dates. The Economist has very close ties with the Rothschild banking dynasty of Europe and has been a well-known mouthpiece for the global elite for decades. Yes, it is owned and operated by the Rothschilds. The Economist magazine is. And that is why all of the weird imagery that is used for the cover of January 2015 issue made so many headlines when it first came out. The elite often like to foreshadow what they intend to do in advance, and many were trying to decipher what many of the cryptic symbols might mean. For those that have not seen it yet, here's the full cover. And we've just been over that. So, and as you can see too, you know, it's got, this one's written in Chinese, or, you know, maybe several different Asian languages. I don't know. I don't read Chinese, y'all. For months, much of the speculation focused on other symbols of the cover, but now there is renewed interest in the cover based on the two arrows that are stuck in the ground in the lower right-hand corner. Perhaps these two numbered arrows mean something, perhaps they don't, but I find it hard to believe that they are there by accident. And here's a close-up view. And yes, they are not there by accident, ever. And just because they put this in the cover on 1 year does not mean that it doesn't hold value for the future. And that is what this is. I believe we need to just keep our minds and hearts open for what's coming, because we are getting closer, ever closer to the shift in the monetary system. It is coming. It is like a thief in the night, and it will be here in the blink of an eye. And as they always do, they will shut down the banks one day, and the next day we will have a new financial system in place. They have not been telling any of the bankers that I've spoken to, because I've asked, when I go to different banks, I ask them, I say, hey, what do you know about cryptocurrency? Hey, what do you know about the quantum financial system? Hey, what do you know? And these people, these tellers are just like baffled. They're like, what are you talking about? Whether they're trying to keep it under wraps or not, I don't think that everybody would be a very good liar. But these people are truly surprised when I ask them these questions, and they have no idea what I'm even talking about. And I'm like, that's really odd that they would not know something, anything. But it's coming, whatever it is. The arrows are taken from the graphic illustrating the story of China's economy. The numbers to watch, these are Chinese targets. As it happens, the numbers in the graphic were adjusted in the fact-checking process after the cover went to press. I don't know, but I think we need to think about this, especially as we continue to descend into the future, or ascend. I know that things are coming that will benefit us. So I do not look to this as some sort of foreshadowing that's a darkness, a dark evil. There's a lot of things that we do not comprehend that are going on behind the scenes. And I want to also put out a video for you guys. I want to encourage people to watch The Secret Key Activator and the predictions that were put out years ago. And the Secret Key Activator channel is no longer active. And I don't know why, because they were working on the 2,000-year-old secrets or 4,000-year-old health secrets or something. And then all of a sudden they stopped putting out videos. I'm not sure what happened, but they were putting out very good videos. And I'm going to do a little intro to their channel so that people can go and look at what they have to say about Putin, because they say Putin is a traitor to the New World Order. And I believe that's what we're kind of witnessing at the moment. It's just a gut feeling that I have based on all of the research that I've done on many different levels of what I've seen. I believe that he has been like a double agent and has been playing the part of darkness, because I believe that we do have individuals who are, just as the darkness has infiltrated the forces of light, I believe that the forces of light have infiltrated the forces of darkness. And I cannot prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt, but just by the nature of our world, with this dualistic light and dark, yin and yang kind of concept, I believe that that is what we're seeing. And absolutely, the darkness cannot rule during the age of Aquarius. We are leaving the lower states of consciousness and awareness, and we're moving into a brighter, lighter future. There will still be trouble spots as we continue to grow and progress. It's going to take a huge effort worldwide to make the entire shift happen according to what the good people want to see. We've got corruption in everything, in every level. And that's why, it's going to take more than just 10 years or 20 years. This is going to take 100 to 200 years to undo, if not longer. The technology is certainly there and is going to help us. And these other beings that we have not been privy to are there to help. And if you truly take deep dives into the interactions between our government officials and the UFO community and what these other beings have said, stranger at the Pentagon and all these other things, they look like us, y'all, and they walk among us, and they've been monitoring our progress, but they have higher facilities than us. And we can absolutely prove that this exists now by the monks that are in Tibet, or, these people who are just meditating all the time. Why do they meditate? It's not just because they're in prayer or, being still. They are monitoring things. They are in communication with things that most of us, or at least I'm aware of them, because I've had my own experiences. I'm aware of other dimensions or other beings communicating, or at least trying to communicate. And even my higher self that I have contact with is apparently a very wise voice of wisdom. And each one of you has this capability, but you have to sit in the stillness and the silence. Silence your mind, silence the chatter, the monkey mind, and sit in the stillness, and you will begin your journey of connecting. You have to listen with your ears, listen to your breath, and that's all. And as you listen, you turn off the monkey mind. This is the secret. This is the key. And they don't want you to know all this stuff. That's why there's so many distractions in the world. That's why there's so much junk on TV and so much materialism to buy into, because they wanted to rule the age of Aquarius, and they know they're out of time. Their clock is ticking, and the end game is afoot for them, and the new era is among us. And we will see it begin to rise. But some of us may not, be here to enjoy the fruits of it all once it is complete. So, yeah, hope you like this video. And I do encourage you to go out and look at some of the other magazine covers. Just look up the Economist Magazine covers. I was looking for Chinese flag images because they are always messing with your mind, creating this imagery. Images create. That's why they put this stuff in our face like this. And they predict things, they predict all kinds of things. So you need to go and look at this stuff. This is like the window into the future when you look at what they have to say, because these are their predictions. It is predictive programming, and they're putting it in the minds of the masses subliminally. And that, if you know anything about hypnosis and psychology and how the subconscious mind works, the subconscious mind is the most powerful part of yourself that you are unaware of at all times. And the subconscious mind is operating on a program that you were raised on. As you were born, you were programmed to be the entity that you are, and your experiences have had a huge influence in that regard. And in order to deprogram yourself, you have to be open and be viable. You have to be positive in the direction of change. You have to want to change. If you don't want to change, you'll never change, and you'll repeat the same patterns over and over. But if you are open to change and you truly work hard in your thoughts and controlling the thoughts that come through, if they are of a negative nature or a lower consciousness state, kind of, experience that wants to come forward, you have to cut it off. And when you begin doing this, you begin standing in your power, and you're creating new neural pathways in your brain to react on a more positive nature. These are all secrets, guys, but you got to do introspection to know this stuff. And you got to research as much as possible on how you can be the change in the world you wish to see, because you can't change anything else out here, but you can change yourself in a positive manner to help others. Oh, I see now that these are some of the images that were zoomed in, that were in that one that I was showing you. This says crop dust. So this is, okay, it's a crop duster. That's Monsanto's junk, Monsanto junk. And then, of course, we have the ghost. It's like, it's a figment to go on holiday. They're predicting all the stuff that happened in 2020, basically. This is like, oh, well, nobody's going to go on holiday because nobody's going to be able to. That's the way I see it, is what they're saying. Anyway, I don't want to keep this too long. Go and check out some of this stuff. I've been looking at these covers for a few years now, and look at this. I've been looking at it for a few years and going over the things. I can't tell what year that is, but that's interesting. It's going to hurt. Isn't that interesting? Like some of these, you'll be so angry when you look at some of this stuff. Like really, you're really saying this in 2009? Yeah. Uh-huh. You see what he's got in his hands? Yeah, they just put it in your face. Anyways, yeah, it's just so frustrating, y'all. It's frustrating. But listen, when you know where to look for the signs and the symbols, you go there and you go, okay, this is what's happening. Let's get ready. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be putting out another video soon. Sorry I stay away so long. I've had to take a reprieve. I had to go on vacation and just step back for a little bit because it just gets too much. Technology brings me down. I need to step back and get in nature. So you guys have a good day.